All right. So before we get to the Jets and why I don't think they're the worst team in the league, even though they're 0-6, the Cardinals. So the Cardinals have lost 4 straight. We remember they started 2-0, but it's like we can on Kyler Murray and the Cardinals all we want. Let's take a look at their 4 losses. They've lost by 1 point, 3 points, 1 point, and 4 points. To me, that's like the NFL and the parity right now. The Cardinals were a feisty team last year. They're feisty again this year. They've lost some guys due to injury, but it's like they're close to 0-6, but they're also close to 6-0. And that's just how wild. I mean, right?
But I think they're defensive.
I'm not saying they're a good team. I'm just saying that's how wild
I think they're defensively.
Right now.
It is, but I think they're defensively driven, and I think this defense has kept them in a lot of these games. And just personally, I think as a leader and the energy and aura is the exact thing we're talking about. Some of these guys, Jackson Dart, some of these guys that they bring to their football team, Josh Allen, you name it, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, apparently Jacoby Brissett, since they had their best offensive game without him. I just think Kyler Murray doesn't bring it, and to me, it's not like I'm not a fan of the human being. I just on the football field and in that position and at the helm, I don't see enough moments where he's the guy in people's ears. He's the guy leading the football team, speaking life into who they are. I think if even the play that you brought up with DeMarcado, why is it Paris Johnson that's sitting there talking to that guy? You are the franchise quarterback. If there's anybody that should be in that circle, it should be you, making sure that DeMarcado knows you still going to need him to win this game. We got to be in this thing. Like, I don't understand why you're not in the circle there talking to this guy who's upset and clearly distraught. And yeah, you're going to say, oh, man, that was that one time. No, there's countless moments we can go.
Harrison drops, the intercept.
It's countless moments.
Over again.
And so I'm not bagging on him as a football player. I'm bagging on him as a leader. And I just don't see it. I don't see the energy. I don't see the positivity. I don't see him being the driving force to why this football team's going to go win a championship or do something special. And so for that reason, I'm not big on it. I get that they've been close in these games. In my opinion, they'd win all those games if he was a little bit better of a leader.
So that brings us to the Jets. They're 0-6.
Everything's great.
Me and you have been 0-6 on a team before. I've been 0-6 on multiple teams, Whit. And so
I've been 0-6.
The Jets they're at a fork in the road right now. It's either going to go one way or the other. I think, the one way is the team quits on Aaron Glenn. They give up on the season. They don't practice hard. They don't play well. But the other one is they fight. And I don't think this team's going to quit on Aaron Glenn.
No.
And I think when you do get in situations like this, you look at the upcoming schedule. What is it? Well, they've got a home game against Carolina coming up. Guess what? Carolina hasn't won on the road yet this year. And then they're at Cincy, which is certainly a very winnable game there. And then they have their bye week. So coming out of the bye week, they play Cleveland, they play New England, they play Baltimore.
Yeah.
So it's like I just think we look at these next 5 games as a great opportunity to kind of get the train back on track. I think if you're Aaron Glenn, you have to make a move at quarterback. It just hasn't gone great. You need a spark. Tyrod has already gone in and played well this season. So when we talk about the Bengals and making the move and bringing in Flacco, I think this provides a little bit of a spark to that team, a little bit of a lift to get Tyrod in the lineup. And I think at this point, it's the right move, which doesn't mean you can't go back to Justin Fields at a later point, but I think we're looking for any sort of boost we can get in that locker room right now, and I think that may provide it.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm big on this, man. When I look at an offense, no different than Caleb Williams last year in Chicago, I start to look for who are the veteran leaders on this side of the football, and who is it that we're leaning on in that huddle when we talked about Kyler Murray and the energy he does or doesn't bring. The reason I'm saying that is like when you're in a huddle, a lot of people don't understand this. Like you get mic'd up segments where a certain guy's mic'd up and the quarterback's got stuff in his ear, the coordinator's talking to him, but there's always these guys that are in the huddle in that circle like, hey, we got this, boys. Lock in. Let's get focused. I think of our Super Bowl winning drive against the Cincinnati Bengals. Cam Akers will forever be in my mind, in my ear. I always will think of, I'll never forget every single snap he got in that huddle and he's like, we're about to go do something special. We're about to win the Super Bowl. Like, this is it, guys. Best you've ever got. Every single play. And it's like every guy kind of just shut up and let him have it because we could just feel like he was on one and there was this moment. And so I look in a huddle and I go, who is that for the New York Jets? Well, you got a second-year guy playing at left tackle who's going to be a really good football machado. You got Mimbu, my guy at right tackle, a young guy, right? So I start to look at that group and I go, man, all right, it's tough to say who are like, there's a lot of young guys in here. Garrett Wilson's like trying, like the poor guy, like, man, literally, can we just get this guy some consistency on offense and get him the football as he's a special talent? But I just don't see a lot of guys in there that I go, all right, this is the kind of guy I'm thinking in these moments, who's there for him. And so with Justin Fields in there, it's just, it's like a little bit of like, we're limited. We know we're limited. And what is really the life that's being brought to that huddle? Whereas like what Joe Flacco brings, it's not necessarily what he's going to say. It's the demeanor and just the aura and the presence of, I've been here, I've done that. Tyrod Taylor is going to bring the same thing into that huddle. I've played a lot of football, guys. Like he's going to have a little comment or a little thought here or there that can just help them in some of these moments, right? Taking care of the football or being big on third down or like any of those type things, right? Like I used to always say this in our huddle. Every time it came to third and long, I was like, man, these are the plays when special guys play special. I would always say that to our receivers because that's inevitably the NFL. You're going to get in third and longs. You're going to get in third and got to have it situations. And you know what you're going to be defined by? Who it is in your huddle that loves those moments and wants to go make special plays. And so to me, I think that when you think about this Jets huddle, it's too many variables. And so it's like, hey, put that veteran guy in there that just gives them some stability and some calm and let them go develop some confidence because you need to run the football with this group. You need to go play physical and then give Garrett Wilson his consistent opportunities to catch the football. And I think that they'd just be better. I think it would just give them some stability on offense.
Maybe that's why I threw so many interceptions on third and long. I had you on my shoulder saying, all right, be special, make a play. Let's do this.
Yeah, that's it.